are you going to continue to let others dictate your business and your life? Your indications should be, with the type of business that you have and the amount of business, that you should have tanked by now. You should be gone. Yet, what are you doing? The total opposite. And it's a mindset. So you can either continue to feed into a lot of the negativity that's out there. And I'm not saying that those horrible things don't happen to people that have had adversity. But generally, I think that's probably a very small percentage than everybody else. And then there are a ton of people out there that still want to travel. I'm one of them. And I've had people come to me, oh, I'm not sure if I want to travel. It's scary right now. And I'm like, okay, so I could either sit home, be depressed and watch the news, wondering and wishing that I should have, or I can come back and tell you about the trip.
Jen, if I give you everything that you need right now, are you ready to make that commitment to me that you're ready to book? If I'm making a commitment to you that I'm putting the work and the effort into this to get you your trip, I'm not charging you fees like everybody else thinks they should be doing and all this other stuff, right? I ask you that flat out question and I'm putting you on the spot to be honest with me. And, these are things that they need to do is start qualifying their clients better. But I also feel if you remember,
you cannot get around the foundation. That's what the manual is. What I like to do is I take a look at, if I work with somebody, I have my foundation. And then I say, you know what? But there's this one little area right here where let's tweak right there. Just that one question. What I like to do when I work with people one-on-one is when I hear you and see you and you're asking the direct question and I see your body language and energy is doing something crazy, then I'll say, okay, let's bring this question in instead and see how they react when they say it.
Well, welcome back to Task Talks with Tammy Levent. And I am super, super, super stoked because we have not only a phenomenal person that I can relate to, because when we both chat, it's always storytelling time, but also the fact that she's a very dear and close friend of mine. You will be very lucky and very privileged to meet her when you come to Task Live Cruise, January 12th to the 16th on Wonder of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. And you get to meet her firsthand, face to face, because trust me, this is one person that you want to meet. And if you don't come for me on the cruise, you definitely have to come for Jennifer Samuel Chance. And I'm so honored to have you here. I know you want to be called Miss Jen.
Yeah, Miss Jen would go. Jennifer Samuel Chance is a very long name, which few people remember, but Miss Jen.
Your full name, so if somebody like Googled you, they would know to.
It's my government name. What can I say?
So Miss Jen, I love it. So tell us a little bit about how you started. I know you for so many years. We're not going to get into that because we're going to age ourselves, Jen. So we don't want to bore them with that. But I've known you forever, and it's true. When you and I get together, it's storytelling time for both of us. So tell me a little bit about how you started and why you started. I mean,
well, I think storytelling found me. It's in my bloodline. Literally, I found out through doing some research that my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my dad, and my mom too, let's give her credit as well, but especially my dad's line, they were known as storytellers. So my initial quick history is that my heritage is from the Caribbean, and throughout the islands, my parents and their families were basically storytellers. So it came through me, and I just thought that was the way that most people communicated. And I ultimately left a job, very successful corporate job, because I was very dissatisfied. And the job was fine, money was fine, everything was fine, but it didn't suit my soul because I was doing more analytical stuff that had nothing to do with storytelling. And I had a come to the universe moment where I figured out, you know what, can't do this anymore. And people kept, for most of my life, people have always commented on my voice and how different it is. And it's been the voice that I've had since I was a teenager that I actually didn't like because it brought me attention. And I'm an introvert at heart. So I would get this big fuss and bother every time I spoke. So most of the time, actually, as I communicated, I tried not to communicate. And the time I did communicate was storytelling mode because it built connections quickly. I made friends easily, and it was basically my mode of doing things. So throughout my journey, I became eventually a professional speaker, And the way I spoke and taught my audiences was through storytelling. And then somebody saw me do that at a conference and they said, "Can you teach me how to storytell in a speech?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right," because I had no idea. And I figured it out. And that was 20 years ago. I can't believe the time has just flown by.
That's
And it's
about when I
essentially what I
met
do
you.
right now is basically work around how to use storytelling to connect to people, build trust, credibility, and I do it around the world. So it's really, really good.
Well, on that note, Jen, I think I'm the one that came to you like 20 years ago.
Kind of, sort of. Do you want me to tell the story? I don't know. All right, tell the story. What the heck? It's just storytelling
Did we
time.
meet? I don't even know. I thought it was like
Let me
Working Women
refresh
of
your
Tampa
memory,
Bay or
girlfriend.
something. How did
So,
we
actually, it
meet
was
anyway?
speaking at a network event, if you remember. And I came to the event. I had no idea who Tammy was. I was just coming to the event. And before the event, there was a icebreaker exercise that they gave the audience. So Tammy was in my group, and I knew she was the speaker, but I had no idea about her, what she was going to speak about. And we did a exercise. There was a group of us together, and Tammy was Tammy's usual wonderful self. And then she got on stage and she started speaking, and that connection was there. And after she left stage, and I went home, I was like, "I like her. Let me reach out to her." So if you remember, I sent you an email. "Hi, this is Jen Jen. Let's talk more about your speaking and storytelling."
Stuck with you for
And
life.
and I came over to her office, and that was yeah, that was it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I've learned a lot from you through the years. So let me ask you this. This is a really important question. I probably, out of all the questions that I'm going to ask you, um, how do you guide your clients to success? You know, that's funny. It's if you ask me that question, I'll be like, well, if they listen to me in the first place, listening is 99% of the time of what you need to do. And that's why I'm curious how you're going to answer this question. So
That's part of it, and part of it's listening, but the other part's taking action. What I found is when people approach me, and like I said, most of my work, I actually work with a lot of executives and business owners and sales people in sales organizations. And what I find is that when they come to me, it's a lot bigger picture than do this, or listen to what I say. A lot of it is mindset. A lot of it has nothing to do with the actual physical ability to do whatever you're asking them to do. It's that mind that says, "Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm scared," and it doesn't matter what actual title they have. Doesn't matter how successful they are. A lot of us have the same types of insecurities, and that's probably a common thread that over the 20 years I've been coaching people. That's it. And my thing, in order to be successful, this has got to be right. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are driven all the time and you do everything you need to do. That's part of it. That is part of it. But you can be incredibly successful. And I've met some people that are incredibly successful financially. And to be honest, most of the people I work with are successful. But there's some belief system that's way, way back that happened probably 20, 30, 40 years ago that tells them they're not good enough. I can't connect. I should have did this. I should have done that. So they'll go to a certain extent, then they'll stop or they'll sabotage. And how do I know that? Because I'm very guilty of doing the same thing. So in my journey to get my life right, and remember I told you I changed careers, I had to work with some people that got this right for me. And what I basically do is pass it on to my clients. So how to get to be successful is taking a look at the holistic picture, which means, yes, you are a travel agent and you're a travel advisor, and you could be incredibly successful in the sales. My question is, are you going to keep that? Are you going to sustain it? How do you sustain it? How do you make it grow? And in order to do that, you've got to pay attention to what you're doing here. So in addition to the activities, then your mind tells you, yes, you go ahead, yes, you're good enough, and you continue. So I have a lot of exercises and activities that my clients do that enable them to get through that barrier.
and you know, what's funny, you're saying to have that mindset. Now, you know, a lot of people that are listening right now really don't know who Tammy Levent is. But we're not going to talk about me. They need to research me and find out. But you know, in the past, all these years that you've known me, what I have been through. You know that there's been between cancer, between a marriage that was not only broken, but dangerous, right? You've known me that I invented something and now I'm in a hiatus, but it doesn't stop me. You know me that I had to reinvent myself in the travel business between COVID, between this, between that. But there's one thing, and I'm getting to this, is that one thing you could say about me in the travel industry and anything else that I do, and it hinders people from moving forward, is that fear of failure or the lack of motivation, like you're mentioning. I fear no one or anything at this point in my life. What is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is, I invented the Luku Puffs, the donut or whatever it was, right? What happened? Right now we're at a hiatus because the world is the way it is. There's nothing I could do. I can't find employees. I can't find them to move forward. I didn't give up. I didn't shut it down. It's not closed. It's just like right now, this may not be the right time or the right moment, right? And we may have to just take a pause or a break. Your business, your thinking may not be at the right time or at the right moment. You may need to take a break. You need to step back and look into it as though it's not yours. You need to take that emotion out of it. I do that so much with my business, and I think you do too, Jen.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit more of how you feel about fear of failure, fear of becoming a visionary. I think that is the perfect way to explain it because I feel I'm a visionary and I have to not look at where I've been, what I've done, and I have to look at where this could possibly take me or moving forward. And I think that does stop a lot of people in their thought process.
Mhm. So, depending on the background, depending on who these people, and we'll just make them a nice big general group, are surrounded by, what they're listening to, what's being fed into them, that fear can be very easily a crippling barrier that some of them don't get through. And I'll say it to you, you just said it. One thing I probably admired the most about you is the no fear factor that you have. None. I mean, those of you watching this, yeah, if you haven't read the book, Googled her, please do so, because she's had some challenges that would basically take out one person. Done. One of the challenges will take out people, and she's had multiple. There we go. She'll come back and say, "Excuse me, I'm not done yet. Hello." So we're laughing, and I know that each of the things you've gone through has not been easy at all. But what it has done is made you stronger. And it's kind of like building those muscles. The more you work them, the stronger they get. So you happen to be unique, because I would say it's not a common trait that a lot of people have. You're very unique in that you take adversity, you sit with it, you massage it, you wrap it around, and you repurpose it and use it as a springboard to something else. Most people don't do that. And that's because a lot of us haven't been taught that we can. Depending, okay, I'm going to do this. And if this fails, oh my gosh, what they're going to say? I'm so embarrassed. And I'm
It's
just
just
as
it.
guilty.
That's
So,
just it. Like you're exactly right with the last thing you said is caring so much. We've built that in our society of what everybody else says. You know what I mean? Instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And I think the other problem is stop telling people everything you do. Start doing things take action, like we said. And then once you do it, say, look what I did. Right. And then if it does fail, so it doesn't matter. I didn't fail. I practiced it. I worked it. I got to tweak it out. And then when I do, I'll come back again. Right. It's
I
exactly
fully,
the same thing.
fully agree.
And we're
The
in the
mindset.
worst industry. Travel. I know you're probably saying you're in the best industry. You get to travel, whatever.
No,
I
no,
want you
no,
to
no, no.
think about something, Jen. Think about this. When something happens in the world, when something happens like the C word, that could go many ways, but okay, we're talking about COVID. When we talk about that, what's the first thing that they did? Oh, travel ban, can't go anywhere. Oh, we have a little mosquito that's killing everyone. We have Zika. Oh, there's terrorists, you can't travel. Oh, planes are blowing up, can't travel. Everything is you can't travel, you can't travel. We're the first ones that are disabled. We're the funnest part of the business, and we're the first ones to be disabled. So when you have, see, I make a story out of that, right? I just told you a story of what happens in our industry. What do you give as advice to people that use that as a crutch, that everything happens wrong? Like now the economy, we're not allowing people coming in. So therefore, I don't know, can they go out? Are they ever going to come back? My clients are just so afraid of traveling.
Mhm.
That's really funny because today alone we did about $250,000 in sales. So I don't know what they're talking about because I'm not feeling that effect. It goes over my head. So you tell me that is the number one challenge right now. So you tell me how to tell them and how to overcome that. That is the number one challenge right now. They're using an excuse for everything.
Right. And we're talking your travel agents using the excuse? Or the advisors, sorry. Okay. So are you going to continue to let others dictate your business and your life? Because as you said, your indications should be, with the type of business that you have and the amount of business, that you should have tanked by now. You should be gone, Tammy. You really should. Yet, what are you doing? The total opposite. And it's a mindset. So you can either continue to feed into a lot of the negativity that's out there. And I'm not saying that those horrible things don't happen to people that have had adversity, but generally, I think that's probably a very small percentage than everybody else. And then there are a ton of people out there that still want to travel. I'm one of them. And I actually get that. I've traveled with you, and I'm about to travel in the next month. And I've had people come to me, oh, I'm not sure if I want to travel. It's scary right now. And I'm like, okay, so I could either sit home and be depressed and watch the news, wondering and wishing that I should have, or I can come back and tell you about the trip. And the amount of stories, even if something adverse happens, assuming I make it out alive, that's a new story to bounce off and bounce back from. So the key is people want relief right now. Yes, there's a lot of fear mongering and scariness out there. But if nothing else, and you've just said it with the business that you've just gotten, people want an escape. They want to know, okay, as if I can travel this week, if I can travel in this month, let me go ahead and do it. Who knows what might happen next month? Knows what might happen next year? But right now,
Because
I'm traveling.
to me, different. To me, oh, we're in uncertain times. Well, hell, I think I'm going to travel. I don't know. Like I just came back from Thessaloniki, which is another part of Greece, the mainland Greece. I went to go find my roots. Jen, it was amazing. I went to go find where my great great grandfather came from and dug into that really deep. And then now next week I'm going to where my stepfather is from. So this is my thing now. I'm in Greece. I'm going to find out where am I really from? What really made me, right? Like who made me? What made me? And I'm finding out I'm more like my great grandfather and my grandmother on my maternal side, but everyone tells me, oh my God, you're just like your great grandfather, whatever, you're just like him. So I didn't know that, but I'm finding that out now. So the thing is that, like you said, uncertain times. Me, I'm uncertain. Hell, I'm going to go travel. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. They may just put a ban and they say, you can't fly anymore. I'm getting the hell out of here. But
Mhm.
totally different outlook on that. Just like you. You know what I mean? We're traveling more. So
But you have to. As advisors, your job is to provide the service for those people like us that say, you know what, while we can still travel, let's have a real good time. And I need an expert that's going to do all the heavy lifting and make it easy for me. So if you're a travel advisor and that's your mindset, and you're willing to be that servant to your clients, then I think you will do well. If you're willing to use that as an excuse, then I think there's other issues as well that go along with that that also cause you to stop your business where it is right now.
And I also sent you the webinar that we did on qualifying your clients. And most of the time, they're afraid to even qualify their clients. Like one of the things that I say in qualifying the clients, and even Jordan said, is you have to be straight up. And I have to say to you, Jen, if I give you everything that you need right now, are you ready to make that commitment to me that you're ready to book? If I'm making a commitment to you that I'm putting the work and the effort into this to get you your trip, I'm not charging you fees like everybody else thinks they should be doing and all this other stuff, right? I ask you that flat out question and I'm putting you on the spot to be honest with me. And, these are things that they need to do is start qualifying their clients better. But I also feel if you remember right after COVID, immediately right after, what did everyone do? Oh my God, we were cooped up for 2 years. We didn't go anywhere. It was this whole surge of travel. And if we can just keep that momentum, even with our clients, keep in front of them, keep doing what you need to do, then you'll continue with that momentum. I don't stop. I'm always in front of my clients. You know this. You see my
Mhm.
social media? It's posting. I'm traveling. They're traveling. Everyone is traveling. So I really don't know what they're talking about. I'm in a totally mindset of my own. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. I've also disconnected from the US. You know that. But I
So I
need
think
for
part
you
of the
to,
issue, my
yeah.
experience has been, because I work with business owners as well. And a lot of the times when there's a fear of asking for the sale, which is kind of what they're afraid to ask for, they're also afraid of rejection in case the person says, no, I don't want to do it. And it's more of a personal issue than it is the actual transaction. Because I always ask the question of this: what's your relationship with money? What's your relationship with rejection? And the rejection is usually has something to do, nothing to do with the transaction or money. It's something that happened way beyond that left kind of an emotional scar that then gets triggered every time somebody or they ask, that question, and they're afraid of the answer. So they're like, okay, I don't want to be hurt anymore, so I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to hope that they're going to say yes. And that you're leaving your business in such a precarious position, hoping that they'll say yes, versus being bold, showing your expertise, showing your value, showing the service that you're going to offer to your clients, and not taking it personally. As if they say no to a fantastic offer, that's on them. It's not on you. What a lot of people do, take it personally. Oh my gosh, they said no.
Yeah,
What did
but
I
see,
do
I put them
wrong?
on the spot where I want an answer before I even give them the
Right.
information because I
Right.
want to know where you're at. If you tell me, Jen, if you say to me, I'm not ready right now to make a decision to go on the next trip or on this trip that you're putting together for me, I won't be ready for the next 3 months to make a decision. Guess what I'm going to say to you? You know what, Jen? Let's wait 3 months for me to give you
Yeah,
a quote
exactly.
because it could change from now until then. And you may change your mind. You may have more time. You may have less time. You may even change your destination. Does that sound fair to you? And I'll go ahead and keep your, I never did any work. So
Right.
I don't have to worry about any rejection. I don't have to worry about the no or whatever everyone gets so upset over when somebody says no to them. What can
I
you
think
do
you're
now that
you're
you're going to be on the cruise? So tell everyone that you're going to be on the cruise. What
I'm gonna
I
be on the
need for you to
cruise.
do now is I'm going to put you on the spot. Yeah. So I need, because I know you can handle it. You see that?
Yeah. Thanks, friend. Go ahead.
I need to know, like, give me like 4 or 5 really good nuggets that they can take with them today to practice on, but tell them what they're going to expect while you're going to be on the cruise and we're going to be having such a blast, you know that, but
Okay.
what should they expect from your session or even all of us all together as panels and everything?
Right. So I'm very much a believer in doing your push-ups because I've had coaches that have helped me to be successful. And all of them have said you need to do your push-ups offline in the background so that when you step up and you have the opportunity to get business, make a proposal or whatever, you're ready. So I'm very much a believer in hands-on activities. We're going to be doing some mindset stuff and some really fun exercises, activities that are going to look and sound stupid. I'm going to tell you right now, but have caused myself and most of the clients I work with to catapult their businesses into a whole other stratosphere. I have people that come to me initially. Now, I said my background is not as a travel advisor, it's in human beings and connections. And that's what the business that you guys are in, and building trust and credibility. So we're going to do exercises around that. I'm very much believing in the wonderful manual that I took a look, the task manual that has the questions that you just mentioned, some of the questions. I've actually gone in and created even more questions that are in between what you've got on the manual, and also too taking into consideration people have different personalities. So I'm going to say this right off the bat because I know I love you, but you're a very direct person, Miss Tammy. Am I lying, Tammy? Am I lying? No. There are some people that their style is they're not as direct. Now they can be just as assertive, but they're not as direct. So I actually went through the manual and actually came up with some more questions so that if you, not if, let's just put it out there. When people attend the cruise. If your personality is that you're not as direct as Tammy, maybe this different variation of the same question will make you feel more comfortable asking the question.
To send those
Because a lot of us
questions to
don't want
me
to
and I'll
sound
add them
salesy.
into the manual.
Sorry?
You have to send those to me and I'll add them into the manual.
No, don't. Because here's let me say why. Let me preface this. The manual has a lot, okay? A lot. And I believe those are the foundation, the firm, you know, you cannot get around the foundation. That's what the manual is. What I like to do is I take a look at, if I work with somebody, I have my foundation. And then I say, you know what? But there's this one little area right here where let's tweak right there. Just that one question. So I don't want to give, I'm not going to say I don't want to give, you will get the questions. Let me, be very, very clear about that. What I like to do when I work with people one-on-one is when I hear you and see you, and you're asking the direct question, and I see your body language and energy is doing something crazy, then I'll say, okay, let's bring this question in instead and see how they react when they say it. And then if they relax a little bit more, then that one question, again, it's going to be kind of the same as what you've already given, but it makes them feel more comfortable. Then they have their own customized set of questions when they had to ask the money question and they don't want to ask directly, they'll say, okay, let me ask this a little bit instead. I feel more comfortable, so I have no problems asking the question, and it's still assertive enough for the person to answer. So I will give you the questions, don't get me wrong, but I really prefer, it's one of those where it's in-person activity, because people will say and do things in person very differently from, okay, let me give you a manual, and you're sitting there reading the question, and if you're not on screen, you can probably get away with it. But if you're
I'll
in person
separate
with
the room.
somebody,
We'll
it's
have the
different.
introvert room and the people of fear, and then the other. No, I'm just joking.
No, you know why? Because introverts and extroverts need to mix together. So the introvert needs to feel comfortable asking those more direct questions. We'll just tweak it a little bit so they're more comfortable. And then sometimes the direct questions are a little too direct. I'm going to say that. So then how do you, if you're dealing with somebody that's an introvert, you could blow them out. Are you ready to book today? What? I need to ask my husband. I need to whatever. Versus, so we talked a whole bunch about a whole bunch of stuff here to Tammy, and it seems like you're really, really excited about this trip. So, what time of the year decided to go? Oh, you wanted to go in August? Great. So, beginning of August or end of August? Okay, great. So you can narrow them down to a time if they tend to be wishy-washy, slightly differently. Now, does, of course, take time and skill to build this, just like everything else you've done. But what I've noticed, again, people have different styles. So we have to bear that in mind. So on the cruise, my goal will be, okay, let's figure out so that you know yourself, know thyself, that's what they say. And then you can go ahead and operate in a manner that makes you feel comfortable. If you've got barriers and issues, we'll probably do some exercises to help release all of that so that when you then approach your business, it's a slightly different mindset. It's more of a, I will always say like 30,000 foot view. Because with the type of business you've had for many, many years, you deal with $1 million business, multiple millions of dollars. It's very different from a travel advisor that's basically starting off their business. And they're looking transaction by transaction, and I need this sale, and I need the da-da-da-da-da. So I like to get them into visionary mode, as in, okay, so you've been working your business for a little while. I want you to close your eyes and describe what it's going to be like in the next 5 years after you've been incredibly successful with your business. What are you doing? I'm on the Alps skiing with my family. Great. What else are you doing? And get them out of that transaction mode to, here's the bigger picture. Yes, I am making money doing this business, but it's a lifestyle that I'm creating. Because what I find is a lot of our insecurities are what we use to judge our potential clients. I'm very guilty of that one. Well, it used to be, not anymore. And I would think when I first started off my business, oh, let me not charge them a lot of money because they can't afford it. Well, no, my coaches that make millions of dollars doing the business that I do say, no, you need to find the people that have where money's not the object and they want to be able to change the world. And in order to do that, you have to position yourself so that you are the expert and your fees need to reflect that. You need to go after the business that reflects that. So for me, I had to totally change my mindset, and it took a little while. But after it did that,
Well, you made
things
me
changed.
change mine. You yelled at me in the beginning.
Did it work?
If you remember, I mean,
Did
I
it
had
work?
Task Kit and we
Did
knew
it
it was
work?
like a $1,500 program. And then I was selling it for like $49. And you're like, Tammy, what are
Yeah,
you
I
doing?
remember.
What are you doing?
See, don't you owe me a check or something? I'm just saying. Really? Hello? But again, we're joking.
But on
But it's
that
true
note,
though.
on that
It
note,
makes a difference,
on
right?
that note, one second, on that note, because this is really important. So
Yes.
I look at travel differently. So I positioned myself in the luxury market. So a lot of clients want leads, but where are you positioning yourself? If you want luxury leads, you can't be going to the laundromat
Or the flea market.
or the flea market. Now, how many? I'm just going to give everyone a little hint, and you're going to have to come to task to know, and I'm going to teach you how to do this. Jen, you know me for a really long time. And we're going to talk a minute about my birthday bashes. What were they all for? My birthdays. I had Sister Sledge perform at my birthday. I had the Prince of Austria come to my birthday. What were they for?
The people.
But yeah, but
And
charities. It was
positioning.
all for right and charity, correct?
Yes.
So the people that were coming there, I wasn't cheap. I was charging $150, $200, $300 to come to my parties for my birthday. That's how. Look, it's my birthday month. I was celebrating this year after year after year, right? With different reasons. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. Two, how many charity events did I sponsor or go to for as long as you know me? Tons.
Tons. Mm-hmm.
From, right? And where do you think, what kind of people do you think go to these charity events, especially Ruth Eckerd Hall? I got that entire account. Where do you think people go with money? Doesn't matter what time of the year, what it is, because they want to support the charity and have this income or this money that they need a write off to keep giving to the charity. That's one thing that you could do instead of being in the laundromat or the flea market. Position yourself in charity events and stop complaining that you don't have the business or that people aren't going to spend that money. I can't show you, but there's one client that spent $120,000 today. One client,
Mm.
okay, with his family. So that is another misconception that they're not out there. They're not going to come to me. What makes me so different? I'm not any different than you. I'm not any different than anybody else out there to build my brand and position myself accordingly. So you're right. It's get it out of the, oh my God, they're the fear of they're going to say no or they're not going to want my product. I know we're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to wrap it up here soon too, but that's one thing they could do. So what do you, for everyone that's coming on board, give them a little bit of an exercise, give them something to do, give them some homework for God's sakes. We're going to do this. I tell you right now what we're going to do. We're going to do a follow-up webinar with everyone who sees this podcast, and we're going to go live and we're going to answer all their questions and we're going to see how many people did their homework. And then we're going to have the next phase for them. And of course, the final phase is for you to be on the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Am I putting you on the spot? I'm sorry.
No, because I know what I'm going to say. Hey, I want to keep it real simple because, like I said, if you don't have the vision, you'll spin your time going around in circles and circles. So my challenge is this, and I guess I will get my email address afterwards. Why don't you send me a one-page, no more than one-page vision of what your business is going to do for you and your life and your family. Imagine it's 5 years from now and you're incredibly successful. Wherever you are, you could be quite successful now, but you're going to go to a whole other level. What is it that this is going to do for you? What do you imagine yourself doing? Because if there's no vision, what I love to do
I'm
is
here
start with a
now. This
vision
is
and
my
then we work
vision.
backwards. Huh?
I predicted my vision. But
Oh,
here I
you've
am
got too
now.
many visions. She's going to be ruling the world. Give her 2-3 years. She'll be ruling the. But the key is,
Okay, so
if you
this
have the
one
vision,
page
and then the goal is to
vision,
work backwards
they
from there.
to email it to you. So
Yes,
give them
email
your
it to me.
email.
Yes. J, L as in Larry, Samuel, that's SAM as in mother, UEL, as in Larry, the number 6, at gmail.com.
Do
So that's
something with Jen Jen.
JLSamuel6 at gmail.com.
I'm going to
Because I want
have
to know
it.
if you have no vision, that's why your business is stagnant.
I'm putting it
That's
on
why
the
your business is stagnant.
screen for jlsamuel6 at gmail.com. But we need to come up with another email for Jen Jen. I'm going to rebrand you. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have another one. Just hold tight, because I'm in the branding process now. So I do have MissJenJen.com, but there's issues with that whole thing, so we need to redo it. So I'm going to stick with, at least with Gmail, I get it. There's Jen and other stuff. There's stuff going on. So just hold tight and do Gmail for right now.
I like.
And then go ahead in the topic, in the heading subject. Just make sure you go ahead and put travel story, and that will flag me, so I know that for sure that you watch this podcast and it comes.
Okay, so
from you.
the
So please
subject, they're
introduce
going to put
yourself.
travel story, and we're going to
Yes.
do that. And what we're going to do with this podcast is we're going to blast it out to 180,000 travel agents. How does that sound?
Cool. Fabulous.
And then hopefully, I need to know, well, you and I are going to talk about it. What am I going to put in the subject matter for that? Like, what is your travel story? And
Yeah, just say, what is your
then
travel story?
they can go in and head and email you. And
Yes.
I would
And then
love
put it in a
that.
separate document, which means don't type it in the email. If they can put a Word document or whatever. And
You're
all I
asking
want to
for
know
a lot right
basically-
now.
Sorry?
You're asking for a lot. Okay.
Well, yeah, I am. You know why? Because here's the deal. And what's the name of your company, by the way? What is it? Elite? Yeah. So I think of my people that I work with, work around, communicate as elite people, which means you got to step up. I'm sorry. Because if you're going to waste your time doing a business that can bring you what you want in life, and I say waste your time as in not put in the effort and stretch yourself, then a year from now, 6 months from now, next week, you'll be complaining about the same problem. So we need to get you out of that. Remember what I said? Mindset. So
You're right.
what is your business going to do for you? Imagine yourself. One page, no more than one page. And then again, I will read it, and that will tell me you're going for, and I'm going to give a challenge. I'm going to put it out there. I'm just going to say it. Usually no more than 5% of people that listen to podcasts actually take action. So I want you to blow these numbers out of the water. I want to get hundreds of emails. I say, Tammy, I don't know why I did that because I got so many. I want to say that to Miss Tammy.
Do it too. I'm going to send you my vision. I have a vision.
Why am I not surprised? But let me tell you, everybody watching this podcast, her vision is the reason why you're here. Her vision is the reason why I'm here. Her vision is the reason why I'm going to be having a fabulous time in a couple of months in where? Sardinia. I'm just going to say it. So.
Thank you
vision.
so much, Jen. You're such my dear friend. My dear friend, I look up to you. I admire you. I love you. But most of all, we have grown maybe apart because we're not always together, but we definitely have grown together in a positive way in our lives. And I'm so happy right now for you and for myself. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. Happy.
And thank you so much for inviting me.
And I really enjoy spending time with you and learning from you. I learn so much from you. Every single time I learn something from you. But again, Miss Jen is going to be with us on January 12th to the 16th, Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas out of Miami, 4 days. Not only are we going to have panel discussions, we're going to do workshops. She's going to get everyone up and do jumping jacks. I don't know what she's going to do. And then we're going to have David Farrow on as well. And it promises me, wait to hear this, Jen. David Farrow promises me that he will teach everyone how to remember everyone's name in the room. That's 200 advisors. I don't know how. I love it. I can't wait. And then we have Richard Earls, who is brilliant with his vision and he's just amazing in our travel industry. He's been around longer than me. We have him. And of course you have me, who will take you in that profit mastery class. We are going to shake up the industry. That's what I want to do, is shake it up. And we need to make changes. And it's one agent at a time is what I say, one advisor at a time. I may not be
And I
able to
would
go
say,
to
if I was an
10,000 of
advisor,
them,
you need
but
to jump on and get on this cruise. I'm not saying this because you told me to say it, because you have an amazing cadre of expertise, and nowhere else can you get this. So why would you not go? That don't make no sense to me. I'm not even a travel agent, and I'm gone.
let me tell you, Jen, and then we really have to wrap it up, but I'm going to tell you something. Do you know how much the cruises starting rate is with everything going on that we have for 4 days? I never told you.
No,
I don't think you even know.
no,
You ready?
ready.
You're going to yell at me. I don't want you yelling at me. $988,
I
including the cruise, including the port
see
fees.
y'all. Really? Okay. See, if I wasn't already coming, I'd be sneaking on. I'd be doing whatever. Because where else can you get that type of expertise, that kind of knowledge, that kind of wisdom in a fun-packed atmosphere on a boat? Are you out of your mind, people? Okay, I'm behaving myself.
I know you're going to yell at me, so we're going to go now on that
I'm not
note.
going to yell. I'm going to be diplomatic and not yell. I'll wait till we get off camera, then I'll yell.
You will. You'll be like, guests come for $688.
Just saying. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much again. I can't wait to talk to you. Remember, look for that webinar. It's going to be coming out soon, and do your homework. Don't forget.
Okay. Send me those stories.